You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. Well, that didn't go like we thought it would. Pretty amazing how much different you can feel over the course of a 3, or in the case of Sunday night, 4-hour baseball game. Tigers were probably the most dominant team in college baseball through the first 2 games of the regional. You had dominant performances from Anderson and Ianson. You had yet to allow a run. You blanked Little Rock 7-0. You embarrassed Dallas Baptist 12-0. The 4 seed advanced through the losers bracket. All you got to do is beat the team with the lowest RPI in the entire field, and you're off to a super regional, paired with a team coming in West Virginia who won the Clemson regional. You felt really good. You were up 3-0, and then LSU pitchers decided they didn't want to throw strikes. The hitters decided they didn't want to hit the baseball, and they'd rather play another day of the Baton Rouge Regional. So that's how it sets up right now. Here was Jay Johnson after the loss on Sunday night.
Great job by Little Rock today, winning 2 games against 2 great teams, and you got to tip your hat to them. Complete performance by them. I think the game kind of speaks for itself where it got away from us, and we'll leave it here tonight, turn all of our focus to tomorrow, and find a way to play great.
They will need to leave it there. LSU walked a season-high 11. 7 of those 11 scored. Tigers left the bases loaded in the 3rd inning and the 4th inning. Do you realize LSU out-hit Little Rock in that ball game? LSU had 11 hits. Little Rock had 8. You out-hit them. For all the, where's the offense people? You out-hit them. You walked 11 guys. You went full Rick Vaughn. Chase Shores went full Rick Vaughn. Ball 4, ball 8. Ball Vaughn has walked the bases loaded, only to have Lou Haywood come up there to club a grand slam, or some guy named Cano who, no one's ever heard of, who decided to be Hercules in this friggin' regional, and there he goes. Bases clearing triple, as if that wasn't or double, if that just wasn't the most predictable outcome in that moment. If I have any gripe, it's watching Jay Johnson allow Chase Shores to walk the bases loaded and then pitch to their best hitter. Other than that, I really have no issue with how LSU handled the pitching. There's a lot of questions about should they have thrown Evans, Cowan. I think over the last month, the combo of Newt, Shores, Myers has been a really good third option. I mean, we'll watch Jay Newt against Ole Miss in the SEC tournament give you 4 really good innings. His last 2 outings give you 4 really good innings. I mean, I think ideally they would have loved for Newt to gotten them 12 outs and hand the ball to Shores, who maybe gets you another, 9 outs or so. And then if you're leading, you hand the ball to Evans, Cowan, whatever combo they're in, and you close out the game. But you gave up a lead, a 3-0 lead, and then you just never got off the mat offensively after that. Hat tip Cooper Williams. I mean, Cooper Williams gave you what you needed. He gave you 3 2/3 of shutout baseball, which gave you the opportunity to get back in it. Your offense just didn't. So some nights it's like that. And, for LSU, unfortunately, you played your worst game since the Northwestern State game, which that has to be the benchmark of futility this year, is getting run-ruled by Northwestern State on your home field. But if you remember how that game started, like Derek Curiel led off that game with a homer. And then Josh Pearson led off the 2nd inning with a homer. I mean, you looked kind of unstoppable right there, like you were just going to roll over a bad mid-major from Louisiana. The rains came. You had a 90-minute delay. You came out. You slept walk. They put up a 6 spot in the 3rd coming out of the rain delay, and you never got off the bench. Felt a lot like that 3rd inning of Sunday's ball game. So, unfortunately for LSU, it went the way it did. Now you got to play another day. The good news, or fortunately for Little Rock, is they've now made it a 1-game season for a team that came in with the lowest RPI in the entire field, a team that was 8-16 in conference, barely made their conference tournament. They come in now, and it's a 1-game season. And Chris Curry knows what last night meant for his team.
They just won the biggest game in program history on I keep saying it, one of the biggest stages in college baseball. I'm just along for the ride, guys. I'm just enjoying what these guys are doing. It's a blast to coach this team, and they're having a lot of fun. They're playing with no fear, no worries, no pressure, and we have been for weeks now, and it's just getting normal, and I'm so happy and could not be more thrilled to get an opportunity to keep coaching them at least one more day.
He's a guy that you'd really like to cheer for if he wasn't in the other dugout tonight. A guy who really gets it. What a stark contrast to what we saw from Tim Corbin and Kevin O'Sullivan this weekend. We'll get to that maybe a bit later. But you have to look on their side and look at Malcolm Brown, who gave him 5 1/3. Here, this soft-throwing dude, 88, an ERA of 5, and throwing the ball over the plate, just spinning little loopers right over the plate. Nobody seemed to want to hit it. It was stunning to watch. I mean, I've seen my fair share of soft-throwing mid-major arms keep LSU off balance for 5 innings in regionals. But eventually you break through. And unfortunately for LSU in this one, it just didn't happen. And that 5 1/3 actually gave them an opportunity to get a lot of guys back. As a matter of fact, Chris Curry talked about this after the game, how Monday now sets up for Little Rock's pitching.
Actually, tomorrow, I feel like that we're in a little bit better place pitching-wise, because we might get an arm or 2 or 3 back for tomorrow that we were able to rest. So, hey, championship game, all hands on deck. I've got players coming up to me right and left. Coach, I'm good. Coach, I'm ready. Everybody's good to go tomorrow.
Fully expect that Jackson Wells and Jack Klein, their 1 and 2 guys, are going to be able to give them something tonight in this ball. What? I don't know. But fully expect they'll give them something in this ball game tonight. For LSU, the flip side of it is you get to hand the ball to Kason Evans and Zach Cowan, who haven't pitched in 2 weeks, and that goes one of 2 ways. I'm looking forward to talking to Ben McDonald about this in about an hour. You know, either they are really rested and ready to extend, or you're a little rusty after having not seen live action in 2 weeks. But Jay was asked the question if he considered starting those guys. He acknowledged that was a consideration, but likes where they are.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I think Jaden had pitched well over the last 2 weeks, between South Carolina and the SEC tournament against Ole Miss, and felt like he was a good option to do that. And, there was a number of ways that we looked at it, and he had a great first inning, and not a very good second inning. And so, it's all hands on deck. So he's got to recover well. And if we need him to get an out tomorrow or 2, then he's got to be ready to do that.
And they may. And when Jay says all hands on deck, it's Evans and Cowan, who are you going to start with? Ware obviously hasn't thrown yet, but you can bring Shores back. You can bring Anthony Ianson back. On 2 days rest, I'm not sure what he gave. Maybe it's 15 pitches. Maybe it's an inning. Maybe it's a batter. I don't know, but you could bring Anthony Ianson back. William Schmidt's available. Rizzi would certainly be available again. Jaden Newt, as you just heard Jay say, would be available again. It's everybody. Whoever you need in any circumstance, Primo, Benj, who hadn't pitched in 2 months, if you need someone to come out and throw 97 from the right side because you think situationally against that hitter it makes sense, you could do it. It is an everybody available in this ball game. I know there's going to be a lot of questions about the offense, in particular. You're looking at Jared Jones and his struggles. He's not had 3 consecutive hitless games all year. And by the way, he got a hit last night. It was a bloop in the right, so it's not that he's on a hitless streak. It's just that he's struggled since the South Carolina series. He struggled in the SEC tournament. He struggled in this regional. Against South Carolina, he was 6 of 13. He was just fine in the final weekend of the regular season. The problem for Jared Jones, in my opinion, is Ben McDonald's talked about it a ton, but it's just he's expanding the strike zone. He's not taking his walks. In his last 14 games, so going back to the regular season series against A&M, in his last 14 games, Jared Jones has walked 5 times. 5 times in his last 14 games. That's just not enough. And when you have teams intentionally walking Derek Couriel to get to Jones, which Little Rock has done twice now in this regional, it speaks volumes. They just don't think he can hurt you. And for a guy with that ability in the 2-hole, he's got to prove them otherwise if they're going to throw him balls over the plate. So I don't know if Jay, a lot of you have opined maybe Jay changes the lineup tonight. I don't know if he will do that. Look, in the championship game back in 2023, Cade Beloso batted leadoff in that game. I think that was the first time in Beloso's career he led off, like in that type of moment. So Jay's known to do things that are unorthodox and quirky, and maybe he does shake things up a little bit. I have no idea. I candidly have no idea what he's going to do, but it's a game and an opportunity to extend your season. And if you win tonight, where you're a gigantic favorite, LSU, by the way, on the run line is -5.5. LSU is -5.5 on the run line. Like, it would be a monumental upset if LSU loses this game. But if you win, then you move on to next weekend with West Virginia coming in, and you got Anderson Ianson queued up, ready to get you to Omaha. And that's a really good spot to be. But it's uncomfortable right now because you show up and play poorly again tonight, your season's over. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.